I want you to imagine you stood on this hill in a lush green valley. In the bottom, the river has burst its banks and it's spread across the floodplain. In a house at the bottom of the hill is a man. He's curled up under the covers. He's not asleep. He can't sleep. He's in too much pain. It's strange because it's 2 p.m. and he's been there for hours. I might have said that bit. He's questioning his place in the world. He's catastrophizing about climate change, biodiversity loss, the planet's biggest issues. He feels trapped, guilty, frustrated. That man was me 6 years ago. In a search for a purpose big enough to balance the pain, I became obsessed with self-help. I learned about regret minimization, thinking from first principles, and the importance of systems. In those dark hours, an idea started to take place. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Our global financial system rewards short-term wins, increasing salary, increasing profit, increasing turnover, increasing gross domestic product. But do these successes align with the long-term planetary health? Or is it a win-lose relationship between planetary health and personal success? Only when the last tree is cut down, the last fish eaten, and the last stream poisoned, you will realize that you cannot eat money. I imagined a future where financial success aligns with sustainability, a win-win for people and for the planet. This idea led to me conceptualizing a model where instead of investing in gold, commodities, stocks and shares, we could invest in carbon put into the soil or the protection of the Amazon rainforest. Farmers are central to this vision. We occupy a unique role in the world. We feed the world, but we also collectively manage over 44% of the world's habitable space. Everything else can wait. Agriculture can't. Unlike most businesses, which can only reduce their waste, transition to clean energy, farmers can actively restore ecosystems, increase biodiversity, and sequester carbon into the soil. Farmers are critical to solving global environmental issues. But this importance is a double-edged sword. On one hand, we've got potential to do enormous good. But on the other, we're under constant pressure from outside forces that have got their own ideas of what we should do and how we should use our land. These forces come in two forms: carrots, incentives, and sticks, regulations. Sticks are top-down and can leave farmers feeling restricted and undervalued. And even well-intentioned incentives like the Sustainable Farming Incentive can have unintended consequences. Limited to our national borders, these programs do not address global issues. When we import food, we export the responsibility for how that food's produced. The main incentive for farmers is the markets where we sell our produce. But the environmental services need more than just being linked to the goods that we sell. If a toothpaste company were to save an orangutan for every tube of toothpaste I bought, it would be fantastic, but I still only brush my teeth twice a day. I first encountered carbon credits on my family farm. We produce them by reducing our emissions. However, these function as a marketing tool to the purchaser, and because of this, they need to be relatively cheap for that purchaser to remain competitive. It's closer to win-win, but only for companies that are public-facing and profitable enough to afford this luxury. What we need are incentives that are smart, exponential in nature, and have systematic feedback mechanisms that truly reward sustainable action and empower farmers globally. This idea felt too big for me to do anything about, but also too big for me to do nothing about. So, a Nuffield Farming Scholarship was the perfect opportunity for me to explore the world to see if anyone else has had this idea. Is anyone implementing it? And what are the challenges and potential solutions? The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. I was lucky enough to travel to the countries in blue, including doing the GFP to Australia, India, Qatar, Ireland, and Mexico. There were 4 main challenges that I identified as I was doing my travels. Nothing worth having ever comes easy. Invisibility, complexity, traceability, and global tradability. Not everything being counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. So moving to invisibility. Environmental benefits are often invisible, they're hard to measure, and without reliable measurements, investors would hesitate to support environmental projects. This is where the Internet of Things comes in. Think of this as a network of sensors, satellites, drones, camera phones, videos. They're on 24/7, and they're collecting information about soil health, water use, pollution, and biodiversity, making the invisible measurable. Think of this as the system's eyes, ears, and nose. The second challenge, complexity. The art of simplicity is a puzzle of complexity. Environmental services happen within complex biological systems, influenced by variables like weather type, soil type, ecosystem dynamics. Artificial intelligence can help by handling complexity at scale. It can model complex systems, analyze data, recognize patterns, and generate insights that could allow us to optimize farming practices, protect the environment, and create recommendations for farmers. Think of artificial intelligence as the thinking part of the system, the brain. Third, traceability. Trust, but verify. For environmental incentives to hold market value, there needs to be reliable, verifiable origin-to-use tracking. Blockchain addresses this by providing a secure, tamper-proof record of environmental actions. It's a decentralized ledger that stores information in linked, unalterable blocks, proving that real benefits have not been falsified. This is the memory part of the system. Recombinant innovation occurs when ideas from different areas come together to create something new. The Internet of Things and artificial intelligence and blockchain technologies can individually help our businesses. They can improve supply chains and management. But when we combine them together, we can create tokens and digital assets that represent real action in sustainability. Blockchain functioning as this decentralized traceability tool means that there's no duplications, and it also means that assets can be traded globally on online systems like the cryptocurrency market or the way we buy stocks and shares. More traceable, more trust, less fraud, and more valuable. Also, different tokens can be created that represent different environmental services like invasive species eradication, carbon sequestration, biodiversity improvement, or ecosystem protection. Hopefully, changing in value in relation to the demand and supply of that particular service, adding a whole new dimension to environmental incentives. The biggest risk is not taking any risks. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Looking at the flip side of these technologies, there are risks, uncertainties. They're powerful, and with power comes danger. I know there's a lot of fear, especially around artificial intelligence. It's going to take over the world, or it might make humans obsolete. But these are tools and not tyrants. Like any technology, it depends on how we choose to use it. If used recklessly, it could indeed cause harm. Think of it like a hammer. You can use it to build a house or to smash a window. These could also be used as sticks. Rather than carrots, think of the Internet of Things sensors, issuing fines automatically, but rather than just on the road, throughout our operations, just like a speed camera. I believe if we design systems responsibly, with transparency, and with purpose and accountability, they can become powerful allies in solving humanity's greatest challenges, as long as we design them as tools that serve farmers and not restrict them. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Frustratingly, people say, you can't be green if you're in the red, but what if we can change the game so that you can't be red if you're green? Farmers are too important to be left out of this equation. We need to develop win-win incentives, not win-lose. And if we don't engage with them, we'll get win-lose, where ultimately the risk is that everyone loses. We're at a tipping point where profit and sustainability can work hand in hand, and farmers like us are key to helping that change. Making environmental services profitable, verifiable, can transform them into real tools for a balanced planet, where value represents real-world value. Win, win. Got a bit carried away there. Could you put it on the slide with the pictures, please? Thank you. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. I would have regretted not exploring this idea, and I'm deeply grateful for Nuffield for creating a platform that's connected me to a wealth of knowledge, experiences, and inspiring people from across the globe. Across my travels, I found people working on pieces of this puzzle, using the Internet of Things to monitor soil health, artificial intelligence to optimize their farming methods, blockchain for supply chain traceability. We had Gordon Larson here. His farm had been destroyed by a wildfire, and he was introducing regenerative agriculture and cows to try and breed life back into his soils. He was working with Nori. Nori have taken carbon credits and put them on the blockchain system. They have most recently then partnered with Bayer to take Bayer's carbon credits and put them on blockchain, just to stop that duplication. Then we had Peter. Peter was using artificial intelligence to optimize his dairy farming operations. But what I didn't really see was anyone combining these tools in a unified system that rewards environmental protection. Until 2 years ago, at this conference in Cardiff, I came across another Nuffield scholar. Philip Hughes had successfully created tokens that represented re-wetting of a peat bog in Wales, proving that this is possible, and also proving what innovation is in the room and within the Nuffield community. He assured me yesterday that applying these innovations had made him at least £200 richer. For this idea to create long-term value for farmers and the planet, the missing link is critical mass. What we need are farmers to engage in developing these technologies and incentives, sharing and developing this big idea along the way. The opportunity has given me tools and relationships to think bigger, aim higher, and contribute meaningfully. Thank you also to my family and my team for enabling this life-changing journey. And finally, as was alluded to and was shown on the slide, for anybody watching this in a few weeks' time or on YouTube, the Movember is a Movember and not a fashion choice. And also, it's in support of anyone going through their own dark times. Our most challenging times can inspire the most positive change. Never give up. Thank you.